Well, we are now shifting gears and talking about the real world of professional wrestling. Did you know we're allowed to say professional wrestling again? No
It's so
longer
nice.
is it sports entertainment as
It
dictated
never
by
was.
Paul Heyman at this year's
Yeah,
Hall of
that was
Fame
good.
ceremony. He made it he drew a line in the sand
Right,
about pro wrestling. You know,
right,
I loved it. I loved it. It was
right.
so good. It was a statement piece.
It
Everything,
was.
if you've noticed, you hear Heyman say this a lot. Everything I say and do has a meaning behind it.
Mm,
Everything. Like that's his quote.
mm,
Notoriously, I think he's a consummate overthinker and revealer of story meta
right.
more so than anyone. He's always tipping his hat to what's to come.
Mm,
And he's brilliant at it. He's brilliant. There's a reason he's still relevant in pro wrestling, because
agreed.
he's genius level, behind the scenes and on camera and with a mic. Well, Lee, the
Right.
draft is coming up tomorrow night. Is night one on SmackDown,
Ooh,
and apparently this is going to be a universal shaking of rosters,
yep.
a shuffling of all three decks, so to speak. They're saying
Right.
that, do you ever play spoons? You play spoons where you have like all those decks of cards and you
Mm-mm.
shuffle them all together. Well, this is what's happening with NXT, SmackDown, and Raw. And I'm really excited. I am really, really excited because we are getting into this Triple H era in a way that actually is going to be a big step away from the previous administration, even so
Yep.
much so that we're looking at a Damian Priest babyface turn and a
Hold
departure
on.
from the
Let's get
Judgment
there.
Day.
Hold
What?
on.
Who in the
We got our
world would have
we got our
seen that
predictions
coming?
here.
And he calls himself El Campeón. I love it. Oh my
El
gosh. Are you kidding me?
campeón.
Like the champion in
Right.
Espanol, right?
Right.
Like he was Senor Money in the Bank. So now, because
Now
like
he's
he
El
said that to Jey
campeón.
Uso in his face, he had the belt and he said, what did he call himself? El Campeón. I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is
Right.
awesome. Yeah.
So that's kind of you're already into my first prediction. So
Oh,
here it is.
ooh,
It's
ooh.
two-parter, but
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
So number one draft pick to Raw, Cody Rhodes. Cody is going
Wild.
to Raw because
Wild.
Netflix is about to receive Raw, and that
Right.
is going to be far and away their number one show again. Like it was been SmackDown
Right.
for a while. Number one with a bullet is going to be Raw, no question
So
about it.
wild.
Cody's going there. So that means theoretically, then automatically Damian Priest has to go to SmackDown. He will be the champion there. And
Title
that was where I was
swap
going with this
or what?
is part two is this is the breakup of the Judgment Day. They get separated onto different
Yeah.
shows.
Well, you got Rhea already injured
Yeah, and she comes
walked
back and it's
away.
broken up.
Not
Oh,
only does
it's gonna be
she
so good.
leave I mean, it's like she left WWE TV when she
Oh
set
yeah,
the
she's
belt down.
hurt. She's hurt.
Um,
She
she's
needed
got to
time
go to
away.
rehab, right?
Right.
And you got Dominic messing around with
The anti-LWO,
yeah, I was like, what
Legado
is the
del
name of the,
Fantasma.
yeah, your Phantasmo. And clearly he's staying heel. You got JD McDonough on the outs with Priest.
Yep.
You got
Yep.
Finn totally MIA. Where's Finn?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Right.
He tweeted out he's going nowhere, that he loves
Yep.
WWE. He's
He's
here to
re-signed
stay.
officially.
Yeah, Finn re-signed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just when I was growing to love the Judgment Day. It
Just the
felt like
right
they were
time.
forced down my throat for a year. And then finally I
Right.
went, I like these guys.
Yep.
And now they're going to break them up.
They are. I mean, I think 100% they're going to break them up. So that's my prediction number one. You have a pretty. I've got a list. Only a few of them, but I've got a list. You got some?
I
I didn't
think,
prepare you for that.
I think there's going to have to be some sort of merger or realignment with whatever this loose cacophony of Latino wrestlers is. I
Mm,
don't know if the WWE can handle three separate, distinct factions that are both heel and face and feuding with one another. The reason I say three is because Andrade is got he can go anywhere or he can do his own
yeah.
thing, right? So like I feel like Andrade, Santos, and Ray, and now Dominic's in the picture, right?
Right.
You've got these kind of mob boss level
Mm,
leaders. I would love
mm,
the LWO to encompass it all and for them to be legit heels and to
mm.
run the show the way the Judgment Day
Ooh.
did.
And Dom leads the LWO.
Yes. And
Oh.
as a true homage to Eddie, he becomes the leader and they have
Mm,
reputability with Santos and Andrade, even to the point of them gaining multiple titles. I don't
mm,
know that Zelina is quite there for a solo title run, but I think she could be paired for a tag run, which would be really
mm.
cool to see the women's tag belts come to the LW. Like Legado del Fantasma is
My,
forgettable. It's forgettable. The name isn't memorable. The merch I don't think is moving. But they've got the star power, right? In the
right.
everyone wants an LWO shirt.
I love him.
Everyone
Yeah.
remembers LWO with Conan and Rey
Eddie and
Mysterio.
Ray.
They
Yeah.
had all of those big names coexisting in
Hmm.
WCW, and they can do it
Right.
again. They can play nice and run the world. And that would be my dream to be on SmackDown, for them to be like the
That'd be good.
SmackDown,
That'd be good.
kind of like they're always on the road. You're gonna see them. They're gonna mix it up. It's gonna be good. They're gonna do heinous things to the rest of the
Hmm.
roster. They're gonna be operating in the shadows and stealing titles and winning matches. I would love it. They should be top heel faction in the draft and unify what they're doing. That's my
Interesting.
that would be my. We're not really
That's
saying
your first
predictions.
prediction.
We're saying like I'm saying more like dream booking. Maybe you're saying prediction. I'm saying dream
Yeah.
booking. That's my dream book.
Okay. Well,
And
my
I
my
love that.
so you got dream booking, so I got second prediction
Yeah.
is CM Punk and Drew McIntyre 100% to Raw. I mean, they are going to
Wow.
stack the deck on Raw
I'm
because
gonna
it's
say we're
going to
talking. That's
Netflix.
gonna kill SmackDown. I mean, on some level.
SmackDown is going to become the B show. There is no question about that in my mind.
Hmm.
Now we're talking to end of the year, so we got some time,
It's
right?
gonna
We
have
got
to
some,
have better action. It's gonna have to have
but they're
better.
going to build it,
Like an LWO, we could
right?
carry SmackDown
Yeah,
with
that would be
Dragon
awesome,
Lee and the high
right?
flying and the luchador. I mean, it would be
Yeah,
bring back the
that's kind of
luchador
what SmackDown
component.
did under Paul Heyman. Like the
Yeah,
SmackDown Six were
yeah,
clearly different than the guys who were the main eventers on Raw.
yeah.
But we're going back to that era. Raw, I mean, they are going to stack the deck so that when Netflix goes live with Raw, it's like, oh my gosh, the best names are here. And I don't mean a slight on Damian Priest and all that, but obviously Cody Rhodes is the A champion.
Because a
He's the B
subscription would be
champion.
required, right?
Yeah, they have to get people's eyes on it. And so many people have Netflix that they have to come out with a bang and
Right.
say, this is what professional wrestling is. Do you remember this thing?
Well, I would
This
think
is what it is.
but I would also think they're somehow going to be saying you need to leave Peacock for us. You need to
Oh,
shift your
100%.
dollars
Yeah,
here. If you're a
yeah.
wrestling mark, you got to be with
You
us.
have to be on
So
Netflix
I
now.
would think they're
Yeah,
thinking client acquisition as well. Like they'd be thinking user
absolutely.
growth. That
Yeah.
makes
And
sense to
Cody,
me.
CM Punk, and Drew, that's your big hitters right there. And specifically
Yeah.
Cody or CM Punk and Drew together. By the way, the promo that they did on Raw, where Sheamus came out and said, "It's
Oh,
banger after
so
banger
good.
after banger,"
More
and then
like
Drew
burger
McIntyre
after
looks at him and
burger.
goes, burger after burger. Yeah, that was
That's you and
Drew
me.
is
That's
he's
you and me,
hilarious.
man. You're the banger and I'm the
Burger
burger.
after
No, you're the
burger.
banger. You're the black belt taekwondo guy. You can break a wall with your fist, and I'm over here munching on, Rally's fries and burgers. So yeah,
Rally's fries.
I think we got that. You're
This is
young
what I broke for
Sheamus.
my second degree
That's what it
black belt
is.
right
You're
here.
young Sheamus with the good abs, and I'm dad
Oh
bod
no, I don't do that.
Sheamus.
No, I
Um,
mean, because of the stress of life in this last season, I am very out of shape for being a second degree black belt.
yeah,
I'll
but you're
call it
not in
out, I'll
my
own
shape.
it.
You're not in pear shape, right? So you
Well,
still are in cucumber shape. I'm in.
oh, it's Larry Boy. Anyways,
Did I ever say
you
so?
got more
You
dream
you're
booking for us?
yeah. No,
Or
I
you
do. I
I
do.
got
And
more predictions.
well, I would say this, right? You have now Becky, who's a 7-time champ, eight
Yes,
time.
I
I think it's
love
the
it.
8-time champ. So Becky's got
Love
the
it. 7.
belt. Becky's gonna
Love
be
it.
the Raw Women's Champion, where
Yep.
Rhea has the largest social media following, just so you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they track that.
Oh, they do,
That's
of
usually who
course.
they put belts on is the
Right.
popular ones. And then your Cameron Grimes get cut, for example, who has no social media following.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I know. That was really
He made some
sad.
waves.
His
He made
release
some
was really
waves in
sad.
his
He's
release.
crying on his release. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think Becky's going Raw. I think she's going to be aligned with that, with those names and that brand.
Yep.
But
Got to build Netflix.
it makes me wonder if Bailey can be
Who's
the
Bailey?
women's, right, the forgotten about. Exactly.
Right.
I want to say and I didn't think this at Mania.
Right.
That would mean Bailey's becoming a transitional champ,
Yep.
and that somebody like Tiffany, Jade, Tiffany versus Jade,
Yeah.
that's got to be the SmackDown. They've got to create interest, and they've got to have young draws with athleticism on SmackDown.
Yep.
Maybe it's Bianca. But somebody's got to take that belt off Becky.
Yep.
Off Bailey before SummerSlam, I would think, or
Agreed.
at SummerSlam. And it's going to be
Agreed.
the SmackDown belt, where I think Becky's going to hold on to this Raw belt for a while till things settle down.
Yeah.
With Netflix. I think that
would be almost a half a year then. That would be,
I think that's what's going to happen.
Maybe.
I think she's going to go on book tour. She's going to sell a lot of books. I think this was the okay, well, we would have been okay with her winning at Mania, but we didn't want to do that. So we're going to go with the contingency plan. We're going to put the belt back on her as if she won at Mania, and we're going to roll with that plan. And we're going to have her do PR, and we're going to have her do Connor's kids, and we're gonna have her do Make-A-Wish visits, and we're gonna keep driving sales with her. But the real women's show, the real talent, is gonna be on SmackDown, and it's gonna be phenomenal matches. I think we're gonna get 5-star matches out of Tiffany versus Bianca. It's gonna be really, really good.
We'll see. In that, I'm going to skip down. My next prediction was around tag team, but I'm going to skip down to women's division because that actually cuts against what I was predicting, which is I still think, and I still think I was right, that they should have had Becky win at Mania. I'm glad Rhea got her moment. That's great. But you're right. Now
so
contingency plan.
The match had no stakes, though. And it was the opening match of Mania. It's the most forgettable match.
Yeah.
And outside of Becky's weird Budweiser can outfit, I don't know that it was very noteworthy. So weird.
I love that gear.
So weird.
It's her book. It's the cover of her book I love it.
I know. It's like, I'm weird. It's not cool. It's just, it feels like a commercial. It feels like she's wearing a billboard. It feels like she's wearing a paid ad. You know, like when the WNBA teams have to wear, they don't get to wear their name of their team, but instead it's the sponsor of the team because the team's in such bad financial straits. That's what it reminds me of.
Okay, well, I love it. I think it looks amazing, but I still think the plan should be or was Becky versus Tiffy time on one show, and I think it's Jade Cargill smashes Bailey to bits on the other show. I
I
think
could.
that that's where
You
they're going to
think they're
be.
going to do a tag run first? I think
I
it's going to be
thought
Bianca and
so.
Jade tag run. I
I
think.
mean, that's what I thought that they were going towards, and then they'll do the Mega Powers explode and all
Right.
that kind of stuff.
Right. Somehow
Yeah,
Naomi
maybe.
will be the one that, causes drama between them, causes friction. I
Right,
think that just feels like such predictable WWE storyline writing, doesn't it?
right. It
This world's
does.
not big enough for all three of us to
Right.
coexist as a
So we have
team.
to battle each other. Yeah. So what's the team then? So if we've got the Mega Powers, is this the Power Storm?
Hmm,
Ooh.
maybe so.
Stormiest sounds stupid. Let's not do Stormiest. That's not where we're going. Power Storm. That's the Power Storm. That's their team
Yeah,
name.
that's cool.
I don't know.
I love that
I
they're
don't know.
dressing up like cowgirls too. Like that's really fun. Like it's really unique.
Wow.
There's not been an African American stable of beautiful women that dress in Western gear ever.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I love it. I
Not that I
love
can
it.
think of.
I love it.
Right.
I love them. I think Bianca came back this year at Rumble in peak shape, career shape. She is
Yep.
ready
Agreed.
for something. She is ready for a run. She is
Right.
better in ring than she's ever been. I think
Yeah.
something's happening with Bianca, and I don't think it's going to just be samey as
Right.
another like a Bailey esque title run, title number
Yeah.
5, and we're like yawn, yeah. So
I know you love Bailey. I'm not trying to rip on her.
I
I just
do, but
they're not going to use her.
I
They're
do
just
love
it's
Bailey,
been
and
very
I'm
apparent.
realizing she is the transitional champ, and that
Yeah.
sucks. That
Yeah.
sucks in reality.
Mm,
Um, I'd love to see Bailey
mm.
be. Would be a great role for Bailey is the commissioner of NXT. Like that would
Oh,
be awesome.
they
Get
move Ava
Rocks,
Rain
get Rock, just
somewhere.
get her out of there. She's not doing anything for anybody. Who is? It's so not believable. She
I
doesn't
mean,
even
she's
believe
moving
what she's
numbers for the
doing.
TKO board, I'll just say. But
It's leverage. It's leverage of a name, and it just.
right.
I'll stay off that.
You're good. Yeah, yeah, you're good. So my next one is tag
Make her
team
commissioner
related.
of
I got
SmackDown.
two.
Make
That'd be
Bailey
good.
commissioner of SmackDown.
Then you got to get rid of Adam Pierce or Nick Aldis, or you
Give
just
him a better job. Promote him somehow.
to co-CEO. No, never mind. Well, okay, so tag teams. I've got two predictions around tag teams, and then we can dream book it. But first is sorry, balloons. First
Celebration.
one is Alpha Academy gets separated. I know they've already kind
Right.
of done it,
Yeah.
but Otis is going over here. I think Gable goes to SmackDown because
Right.
they're building up the SmackDown as the wrestling brand,
Yeah.
and I think he ends up within a new faction with the Creed brothers, Chad Gable and the
Ooh.
Creed brothers, and they're going to be something like the
I
world's
love
greatest
it.
tag team,
I
like where
love
it
it.
was Team Angle years ago.
Yeah.
This is a new Team Angle,
I
but with
love that.
Chad as Kurt Angle.
Have that young kid come back too. What was his name? Cable. Remember that kid that showed up at WrestleMania a few years ago that was like a collegiate champ, Olympic champ, and they signed him.
Oh, Chad Gable Stevenson. Yeah.
Is that it? And he's
His
just
name's
like
Gable Stevenson. Yeah.
Gabe. Yeah, have him come back.
He's
Put him in
he
it.
failed in NXT. He was not
Oh,
he didn't wrestle well. I mean, he wrestles
really?
well, but not
Right.
the one kind, the amateur kind,
He
not the
didn't perform
professional
well.
kind.
Yeah, he wasn't a great in-ring
Right.
performer. It's probably a great way to say
And
it.
then I think we also saw on Raw that they are going to move Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. They're not doing
Yeah.
DIY. They're
Yeah.
going to have singles runs.
You're right.
And I think Ciampa goes to Raw, Gargano goes to SmackDown.
I love Johnny Wrestling. And it's confusing me why they don't have Candace with Johnny. Like I would have loved to have seen them get
Yeah.
the tag belts and Candace be their manager, and
Yeah.
they could have done some great, but that's just repeating.
Right.
I've
They got
heard
to go new.
I've heard them say many times, we will not go back to the past for
Mm,
stories and for
mm.
characters. We will shape the future, right?
Because
And that's
Awesome
what,
Truth is not going back to the
well,
past.
great point. Why
Just
did they do
saying.
that? No, I mean, great point.
I love it. Our
Great
Truth is
point.
my favorite. He is become my favorite.
Man,
But
DIY should have taken those belts off of them this week. It
100%.
was so good.
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
yeah, I think you're right on both accounts. And I think the Creed brothers, and let's put Ivy Nile in there too. I love her. Oh
Hmm.
my gosh. They would be
Yeah.
a great heel team
Right.
angle, wear the USA colors and be healed.
Yeah.
I would love,
And then they,
especially this summer is the Olympics. This summer is the time to do that, where
right.
there's an emphasis on Olympic wrestling. Would be really, really cool.
Timing
Yeah.
is perfect. And I think
Yeah.
that new team angle, Team Gable
Could Kurt Angle come be their
wins.
manager?
You could, or
Good Lord.
here's my not what's called fantasy booking on this one.
Yeah.
So Team Gable, like you said, they're Olympic gear, everything. They come out, Ivy Niles with them. They start winning and winning and
Yes.
winning and winning.
Yes.
And Gable in his promos starts going, see, these losers, the Alpha Academy, they held me back. They blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Kurt Angle comes back, manages Otis.
Oh,
And then
wow.
you've got Otis
Wow.
and
Oh
Kurt
my gosh.
Angle.
This is
And
so
you're like,
good.
I never knew I
I
wanted this
love
so
it.
much
I
until
love
right
it.
now.
Put Tozawa in like an angle onesie, like in
Oh, yeah.
size women's small angle onesie.
And have him start going, you suck. No, 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 no. We don't mean that. You suck. No, that's
Yeah.
not what you're supposed to say, Tozawa.
Oh, this is so good. Why are we not employed by the WWE? Like this is
No, right.
so good.
Oh, put us in the
Um,
writer's room now, not back then.
I think we're gonna see more of what we're seeing. And I think that's some
Agree.
of your predictions are like, yes, I'm seeing 3 steps ahead. I
Right.
also think we're going to see the Viking Raiders
Mm.
be no more. I mean, I just think we're going to see,
Or NXT run.
I think we're going to see Ivar be the athletic biker. I
Yeah.
think he's gearing up for a North American feud with Oba, and it's
Was
so
that word?
odd. Oba, I can't remember his last name. He's a giant African. He's the North American champ.
Omas.
No,
You
no,
misspelled Omas.
no, Oba Femi. That's his name. Oba
Oh, okay. I
Femi
never heard of him
is
before.
like
I've never heard of Boba Fett before.
awesome. He's awesome. He's like
Oh, that's good.
it's like they took him right out of the scene in the waterfall battle of Black Panther. Like he's a
Oh,
warrior and he is
well, now I want to watch
awesome
him.
and he is ripped and he is tall. He is everything. Everything. Okay. Speaking of Omos, Randy Orton said he's the nicest guy in the locker room. Nicest
Omas?
guy in the locker room. That he is the
I bet.
friendliest, most fun guy in the whole organization. Did you know? Isn't that hilarious?
That's awesome. I love to hear it.
He said second to Omos would be Rey Mysterio, as far as like everyone's
Wow.
friend, nicest guy, most welcoming, always cutting up, always smiling, always laughing. Yeah, he said Omos and Rey are kind of the two like Care Bear, on the road with them.
Oh, they got the Care Bear stare.
Yeah, so like side note, Omos side note, when they came through Charleston at their house show, they're booking Omos versus Tozawa as the David versus Goliath match for the people.
Nice.
And it is hilarious. They have Tozawa like scaling up his back, crawling under his legs, doing all these hilarious, feats of strength for Omos, bench pressing him, military pressing him. So
wow.
Anyway, there's a lot of good stuff happening in the WWE. We're going to see the draft. I think shake it. You know what, Lee? I'll send you one more. And this is kind of a deep. This is a deep reach here. I think we're going to see Trick Williams on the main roster, and in an impactful way. I think we're going to see him come up big, come up Booker T style, and be kind of a main event SmackDown draw. soon. I think it's coming post draft. I think they're going to
Wow.
push him to the moon after the draft.
Okay. Well, the only question I have is continually, where the heck is LA Knight? I think LA Knight goes to SmackDown, and I think he becomes the guy there. I think that they
Oh
need somebody
Lord,
who can anchor that show.
hate it.
And I still LA Knight has said if his career ends, because he is towards the latter part of
Yeah,
it.
he's like 38, if I remember.
He's 40 something. Yeah,
Oh,
he's 40. Yeah.
yeah.
So
He's got a
I mean,
bald
he's my
spot. Yeah.
age,
40.
but
That's
but
ancient.
not my abs because
That's
I got a
mostly
flat
dead,
split.
right?
Oh,
Isn't it
hey,
that
hey,
age?
hey. I'm
I'm
40
43.
something.
I'm 43. I'm older
I'm
than you.
42 or 3, I forget.
You're so old and senile. You don't even know your age.
I'm 42 or 3, somewhere in that range. But I think LA Knight needs a world title run. I think that he goes over. I think he's the one who defeats Damian Priest.
Oh, okay.
You know, I think I don't know, but I think
Pretty.
that
That's pretty okay-ish.
yeah. Well, LA
Like,
Knight's super. I mean, you talk about merchandise movers, you talk about
right.
social media impressions. He's the
He's
guy,
fun. He's
right?
fun.
He's the guy. And they need an anchor for SmackDown because I guarantee the Exodus is Raw is going to get stacked.
You know
And
what
so he's the draw.
the right place for LA Knight is at the table. That's what I think on Raw to be one of the chief announcers to replace like Byron
Oof.
Saxton or whoever at the table.
Oof.
I really do.
Give him a world title run first, and
Sure,
then maybe.
sure.
But
I'm all for it. Let's have
right.
it. But I
Yeah.
mean, who you can have on SmackDown, right? You have Randy, you have
Yep.
AJ, you have
Yep.
LA Knight,
Exactly.
maybe Jey Uso.
Damian Priest, Jey
Um,
Uso.
I mean, that's weak, bro. This is weak. This is
I
what I
think they're gonna
remember
build.
SmackDown being 20 years ago when it was
It's
the
what's
B
happening.
show. And it was like,
It's gonna be the B
oh,
show. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think that they use SmackDown the way that they used to because NXT is kind of filling that role, but SmackDown used to be the here's the hot new guys that aren't the top yet, but they're gonna be the top. That's where Edge made his brand. That's where Angle made his and you know the SmackDown 6. And so you talk about guys like Braun Breaker, they're going to SmackDown. Talk about guys like Trick Williams
yes,
and Carmelo
yes.
Hayes, they're going
That's
to
exciting.
SmackDown.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
That's where those guys are going. I
I would
think.
love
I
that.
think.
I would
So,
love that. Like
yeah.
that to me, that's more exciting than Randy, AJ, LA Knight title run. Braun Breaker versus Trick Williams year-long feud with escalating stakes is far more exciting than
Yep.
anything that those old dogs will do. Um,
I'm an
I
old
think
dog.
we've got to see. I think here, let's end the segment with this, Lee. This is what I would
Okay.
love to see. I would love to see those old timers, which is sad that we're calling guys in their early 40s old timers. I would love to see those guys
McCain.
I would love to see them become Triple H's Patterson and Briscoe and like the
The
guys
Stooges.
they know the guys that he's using backstage or in the gorilla position to run the show, to lead the brand, to develop talent, to much in the way that Dusty Rhodes was on the road, recruiting superstars, developing talent. This is what I see in this kid. We got to get him with, like, I would love to see that gen of wrestler in the dues that they've paid really be honored and to be right the ones owning and running at every level the company. John Cena, right? If there's a way to include Cena on screen in an executive role, awesome. And I feel that way about Bailey. I feel that way. I would love to see more talent replace the business stooge, right? The guy that's is he really is Nick Aldis now? Nick Aldis is in ring talent. Most people don't know that, but he is.
Oh yeah, he was the NWA world
ripped.
champion.
The dude is cut like a diamond.
Yeah.
And and like if he ever took his business shirt off and like decided to go ham on a superstar, it would be phenomenal.
Mickey James's hands are often cut because she just goes, ooh, ow, ow, golly.
Right, right. So yeah, that's my thing. Is like
Yep.
that's I want to see that that legacy generation, truly run the company, right?
Yeah.
Truly run the company to where it's sad. It's sad when guys become penniless, decrepit, broken bodied guys
Mm.
having to do comic cons and autographs in their late years and
Yeah.
signings and appearances. Much like the same way Stone Cold has a podcast, Undertaker
Yep.
has a show. This
Yep.
is this is what professional wrestling has grown into now,
Mm.
to where like there's enough money to go
Right.
around to keep the boys in the back part of the show for the rest of
Right.
their lives. And
Right.
you see those old sad photos of like Greg Valentine, and you're just like,
Oh,
and it's like, man, they didn't have health insurance. They didn't
right.
have benefits. Most of them didn't have retirement savings. And you're just like, this business is, you know, these guys are disposable. And they, at
Mm.
least they were
They were.
disposable to the previous administration.
Yeah.
It's like, what
Agreed.
can you do for me now? And you're done.
Yep.
I would love to see the ethics of wrestling
Mm.
change. I would love to see 401k, health
Mm.
insurance, retirements. These are the things that become normative in this multi-billion-dollar conglomeration with TKO.
Yep. I would love that. I agree. Well, I think the summary of the draft is Raw is the name show and SmackDown is the good wrestling show
The game
is
show.
where the game show. And I think NXT needs Seth Rollins. I think that's where I would like to not see him again is go to anyway. So we're gonna end it there. Sorry. It's where and man, such a good time, good episode, good time in our game, which is WWE Champions. If you're just watching the WWE TV only segment, amazing game. I argue best wrestling game ever, and I'm not even being fake about that. 100% great community, and we would love to see you in the community of our Discord server. Link in the description. Let's have some chatter about the game. We are going to move our power rating discussions there. And by the way, join us Friday night on the Champs Channel Live, where we are going to power rate at least the new character and the chase for this month, which was Rezar. But I had a request, Rusty. Speaking of Seth Rollins, that's why I said it. They said somebody said Seth Rollins would absolutely Seth freaking Rollins absolutely be the number one if we power rate him. So there's been a request to say,
Cool.
is he the absolute top? So that's it for this one. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.